That evening, a girl whispered into the storm, but only a dog caught her plea. A fierce snowstorm swept down from the highlands, draping the valley in a silent white shroud. While Holmes remained snug behind locked doors, Rex, a retired K9, stood watchful on the porch of an aged cabin, ears perked, nose raised to the blizzard. Out there, a child was fracturing. Out there, a cry meant for a mother's heart was engulfed by snow. No one else heard the faint words, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'll do better." But Rex did. What he led his handler, Noah, to that night would transform 3 lives forever: a neglected girl, a grieving soldier, and a dog who never forgot duty, even far from combat. This isn't just a tale of rescue, it's about finding a place called home. Before we dive in, the wind roared down from the mountains like a living force, howling through pines and across the frozen rooftops of Clearwater, Montana, a town scarcely marked on maps, yet holding fast to its own steady rhythm. Streetlights wavered under snow's burden, casting long, trembling shadows over empty paths. Somewhere, a porch lamp flickered off. Elsewhere, a window was sealed against the storm's rage. Just beyond the town's northern edge, past the evergreens where lights faded, a solitary cabin stood at the forest's brim, worn, dark-roofed, knee-deep in snowdrifts. Inside, Noah Caldwell sat on his bed's edge, the silence heavy as a blanket. At 43, he was broad-shouldered yet lean, his frame built for battle but worn by peace. His face, sharp with lines and a stubbled jaw, bore a faint scar across his left brow, a memory that lingered stubbornly. The dim light above softened little, failing to ease the shadows under his eyes or the tight line of his mouth. His right shoulder ached from old surgery, worsened by cold and haunted dreams. He'd come to the cabin on medical leave, meant to heal over 6 weeks. They called it time to recover, to breathe. But for men like Noah, breathing was hard, not when silence echoed gunfire, not when stillness felt like awaiting the next blast. He reached down, stroking the thick fur of the dog at his feet. Rex, a 10-year-old retired K9, still sharp as a blade. A purebred German shepherd, his coat mixed charcoal and amber, ears ever alert, even in rest. His soldier's eyes, watchful, calm, slightly haunted, had served beside Noah in Iraq, searched ruins in Syria, and once shielded him from an IED's blast. Now, his gait was slower, his right leg stiff with age, but his senses remained unmatched. Noah rose, pulling a heavy flannel over his t-shirt, then his coat. Outside, snow fell sideways in thick bursts, the storm fiercer than expected, with more forecast through the night. He opened the cabin door to check the perimeter, an old habit unbroken. That's when Rex moved. No bark, just a sudden snap to attention, nose to the wind, ears pricked. Then he bolted, no hesitation, straight into the white, vanishing down the porch steps into the woods. "Rex!" Noah shouted, his voice swallowed by the gale. Without pause, he grabbed boots, yanked on gloves, and ran after him. Snow stung like needles, blinding his eyes, icing his lungs. His flashlight barely cut the dark, but he followed Rex's paw prints, deep and sure, across the hill toward the tree-line. 10 minutes in, Noah was soaked to the knees, cold biting through his gloves, his shoulder burning with each step. Still, he pressed on. Rex never ran without reason. This wasn't instinct, it was purpose. He found Rex at Carter's Field, where the playground lay buried in snow. The slide, hunched like a broken spine, and swings, frozen mid-swing, stood eerie. Rex was still, ears flat, nose to the ground. Then Noah saw her, a small figure, no, a child, curled tightly beneath the slide's plastic, half hidden by snow, as if the storm sought to erase her. Her face was ghostly pale, lips blue-tinged, hair plastered to her cheek. Her coat, thin and torn, lacked one mitten. She wasn't moving. Noah dropped to his knees beside her. Rex whined softly, stepping back as if sensing the moment's weight. "Hey, kid, can you hear me?" Noah's voice, rough, nearly vanished in the wind. The girl stirred faintly. "I'm sorry, Mom," she whispered. "I'll do better." Then she sank back, her breath shallow. Noah didn't hesitate. Scooping her into his arms, she weighed almost nothing, he wrapped her in his coat. Her skin was ice, her pulse faint. He looked at Rex. "Home, boy. Get the door ready." Rex darted off, as if every word was clear. The trek back blurred, snow erased the path, trees loomed like specters. Noah's shoulder screamed, but he didn't stop. Her breath was all that mattered. She needed warmth, a chance. Rex had given her one. At the cabin, Rex scratched at the door. Noah stumbled in, laid the girl on the couch by the fire, and peeled off her soaked clothes. He swaddled her in blankets, placed hot water bottles at her sides, and rubbed her hands. Rex sat close, eyes fixed on her. Minutes ticked by. Her chest rose, fell, steadier now. Noah sank back, breath ragged. He looked at Rex, now resting his chin on his paws, ears flicking toward the girl. "You found her," Noah murmured. "You old hero." The storm raged on, lashing the windows, but inside, the cabin glowed with warmth. A girl was safe. A soldier breathed easier. And Rex, ever dutiful, kept watch. The fire crackled, casting amber light on the knotty pine walls. Outside, the storm roared, but inside, time hushed. The couch became a recovery nest, flannel blankets, a military sleeping bag, and 2 towel-wrapped hot water bottles. Emma hadn't stirred since Noah laid her down. For the first hour, he barely moved, watching her chest rise and fall, each breath a small miracle. Her face, no longer blue but still pale, showed lashes clumped with frost. Light brown hair stuck damply to her forehead. Her hands, though warmed by layers, remained cold, but her pulse steadied. Noah knelt beside her, gently wiping her forehead with a warm cloth, careful not to rouse her. Rex lay nearby, a silent guardian, his amber and charcoal coat still, though his eyes never left Emma. He hadn't barked since their return, just watched, ever present. Noah stood, wincing as his shoulder protested, a reminder of the mortar blast in Mosul 2 years prior, the surgery, the pins, the rehab. He shuffled to the kitchen, flicked on the kettle, and leaned against the counter, his thoughts drifting to Hannah. His older sister, vibrant, defiant, full of laughter, until silence took her. She'd left Clearwater a decade ago, never truly returning after their parents disowned her for her recklessness. Pregnant at 19, she was branded a disgrace by their father, a retired sheriff. She fled with just a canvas bag and her unborn child. Noah still saw the hurt in her eyes, the fire in her voice. They exchanged a few letters, then nothing. Now, here was a girl who mirrored Hannah, slim frame, high cheekbones, those same wide, searching eyes. The kettle whistled. Noah poured hot water into a chipped mug, dropping in a peppermint tea bag, the only non-caffeinated drink in the cabin. He needed something to hold. Turning back, he spotted a small notebook by the couch, fallen from Emma's jacket. Worn and water-damaged, its spine was bent, ink blurred by cold. Emma's notes was scrawled in uneven letters. Inside, pencil sketches told a grim tale, some crude, others precise. A girl alone at a table, a broken chair beneath her, a woman with angry eyes pointing at spilled juice. Noah exhaled, weary. He'd seen enough broken homes, enough soldiers shaped by them. He set the notebook gently on the table and glanced at Rex, whose ears flicked as if catching a silent cue. "Yeah," Noah said softly. "She's a storm survivor." Hours later, as the sky turned gunmetal gray and the snow softened, Emma stirred. She blinked at the ceiling, then saw Rex first. The dog lifted his head, tail thumping once. Her gaze was unreadable. Then she saw Noah. "You're not police," she murmured. "No," Noah said gently. "I'm Noah. This is Rex. He found you?" She didn't reply, just pulled the blanket tighter. "You're safe here," Noah added. "No one's coming. You're not in trouble." Emma sat up stiffly, her movements slow, hands trembling as she reached for her notebook. Noah handed it over silently. "Did you read it?" she asked. "I did," he admitted. "Thought you were dying. Wanted to understand." She stayed quiet but didn't flee. Later, Noah brought her warm chicken broth, heated with herbs and a pinch of pepper. She sat at the table, Rex at her feet, eating slowly, as if expecting the food to vanish. After, she asked, "Can I stay tonight?" "As long as you need," Noah replied. She looked down. "They might look for me. Do you want them to find you?" Silence. That night, Noah set up a cot in the spare room, adding a heater and extra blankets. At 3 a.m., woken by a half-dream of gunfire and sand, he found Rex gone from his usual spot. In the hall, Rex lay sprawled outside Emma's door, head between paws, guarding. The next morning, as snow fell like ash, Emma sat by the fire, Rex's head in her lap. She rested her hand on his fur, grounding herself. The TV stayed off, the only sounds the fire's crackle and the woods creak. Noah sat on the stairs, coffee in hand, wondering what Hannah would have done. By afternoon, a knock came. Maggie, the nearest neighbor, stood tall and wiry, her gray-blonde hair knotted high, dressed in flannel and denim. In her mid-50s, her kind face was etched by sun and wind. She lived alone since her husband's death and noticed everything without prying. Seeing Emma, she raised an eyebrow but didn't ask. "Brought soup," she said, her voice low and steady. "Storm might have cut your supplies." Noah thanked her, took the container, and stepped outside to talk. "She okay?" Maggie asked, glancing at Emma and Rex. "She will be," Noah said. "She's not mine, but she needs a place." Maggie nodded. "This is the best place for her." She left without pressing. Back inside, Emma whispered to Rex, who wagged his tail once. For the first time in weeks, Noah felt a flicker of peace. The storm had passed, but the cold lingered like an uninvited guest, seeping into earth and bones. Outside, the world gleamed white, icicles dangling like fangs from eaves. Inside, a quieter storm was brewing. Emma sat at a corner table, her thin legs swinging, scribbling in her notebook. The fire's crackle mingled with her pencil's scratch. Rex lay beneath, eyes fixed on her. Noah stood at the counter, pouring coffee, rubbing his neck. Sleep eluded him, questions hammering his mind. He glanced at Emma, then at a photo on the mantel, Hannah, arms around her teenage brother, both smiling awkwardly in a distant backyard. Emma's resemblance to Hannah was striking, same jaw, same silent gaze. "Emma," Noah said evenly. "Can I ask something?" She nodded, not looking up. "Your mom's name?" Her pencil froze, shoulders tensed. "Hannah," she whispered. "Hannah Larson?" Noah's heart lurched. His mug trembled before he set it down. "She was my sister," he said slowly. "I'm Noah Caldwell." "Your uncle?" Emma looked up, her gaze steady, unsurprised. She talked about you, she said thinly. Had a photo of you two in her coat. Said we'd find you when it was safe. Noah's jaw tightened, hands clenching. For a decade, Noah had convinced himself he couldn't have changed Hannah's departure, it was her choice, her burden. But facing her daughter, those excuses crumbled. Why didn't she, he asked softly. Emma's eyes dropped to her notebook. She got sick, she said. Coughed constantly. Stopped getting up. Then she was gone. Noah sank into a chair, the wood groaning. Rex shifted, resting his head on Emma's foot. She flinched, then softened. Where were you living? Noah asked. With Laura and James, Emma replied. At their names, Rex's ears twitched, a low growl rumbling. Noah caught it. Laura? Your stepmother? Emma nodded. She didn't like me. Called me the mess Hannah left. Her voice wavered, hands gripping her pencil. Said I was too quiet, too strange, ruined things. She didn't cry, but Rex stood, pressing against her legs. She leaned into him, holding herself together. She told everyone I stole Chloe's game at her birthday, Emma continued. Made me clean while they ate cake. Said I couldn't sleep inside anymore. Noah's fingers twitched. He rose, crossing to an old desk by the bookshelf, untouched for years, Hannah's old spot for unsent letters. He rummaged through envelopes, receipts, and sketches until he found a yellowed envelope with his name in faded ink. Sitting back at the table, he opened it carefully. Hannah's handwriting flowed in uncertain curves. Noah, if you're reading this, I couldn't say it in person. I never meant for us to end this way. You were my anchor once. I know I let you down. But Emma, she's not a mistake. She's my one good thing. If anything happens to me, and if this reaches you, don't let her be lost. She deserves more than I gave her. Love, Hannah. Noah read it twice, then smoothed it on the table. Emma watched, silent. That's your mom's writing, he said. She nodded. I used to trace her letters. She said words have weight. Noah glanced at Rex, now rigid beside Emma, ears toward the door. You knew, didn't you? He muttered. You found her in that storm like you smelled her blood. Rex barked once, sharp, then stilled. Noah pulled a photo album from the shelf, old birthdays, lake summers, Hannah in her denim jacket, hands on hips. He flipped to a photo of Hannah with a newborn, a hospital bracelet on her wrist. She never told us, Noah said softly. Not Mom, not Dad, not me. She just left. They didn't want me, Emma said, matter of fact. Noah turned to her. That's not true. She tilted her head. Then why call me a burden? He had no answer. That night, with Emma asleep and Rex guarding her door, Noah sat by the fire, holding Hannah's letter and the photo. Flames cast shadows on his face. The clock chimed twice. Snow fell gently outside. We're not losing her, too, he whispered, glancing at Rex. Snow drifted like ash over Clearwater's hills and roofs. The cabin glowed with life, a warm breath in a frozen world. Noah paced by the window, arms crossed, jaw tight. Outside, tire tracks cut to his porch, an SUV, silver and official, hummed, steam rising from its hood. Emma sat on the couch, legs tucked, sipping warm milk. Rex lay beside her, head in her lap, tail thumping occasionally. Two figures had emerged from the SUV minutes earlier. Noah watched them organize papers, speaking too softly to hear. Footsteps crunched up the steps. A knock, precise and professional. Noah opened the door. A woman in her early 40s, in a forest green coat and dark slacks, introduced herself. "Mr. Caldwell, I'm Sophia Alvarez, Child Protective Services," she said crisply, kindly. Tall, with cocoa skin and short, natural hair, her gold-rimmed glasses lent quiet authority. Behind her stood Officer Tom Hargrove, stocky, balding, with a grey mustache and a clipboard. His uniform was pristine, but his eyes were weary. He nodded without smiling. Noah let them in. They shook off snow, and Sophia scanned the room, fireplace, furniture, Emma, Rex. She paused at the dog but nodded at his calm. Emma shrank slightly, but Rex stayed still, eyes tracking every move. "This is Emma Larson?" Sophia asked, crouching gently. Emma nodded, clutching her notebook. "We won't stay long," Sophia said. "We just need to understand." Noah handed her a folder, Hannah's letter, Emma's drawings, a photo of Hannah with infant Emma. Sophia skimmed it efficiently. "Where are her guardians?" Hargrove asked. "Laura and James Bennett, in town," Noah said. Hargrove noted it. Sophia stood. "We'll speak with them." An hour later, the room shifted. Emma hid in the hall's shadow, Rex guarding her. Laura Bennett stood with crossed arms, lips tight with feigned concern. In her late 30s, her cream turtleneck and tailored coat were sharp, her blonde hair in a sleek ponytail. Her eyes, though, held a honed edge. James, 40s, nondescript, in a navy windbreaker, looked avoidant. Laura spoke first. Emma ran away. "It's a misunderstanding. She's troubled, withdrawn. We've tried everything. Counseling, extra care, she doesn't respond," Laura said. James nodded silently, hands in pockets. "She stole our daughter's expensive game," Laura added. "Found it under her mattress. Then she vanished. We were worried sick." Rex growled, low and clear. The room stilled. Laura froze. Sophia turned to the hall. "Emma, would you like to say anything?" After a pause, Emma stepped forward, kneeling beside Rex, hand on his neck. "I didn't take it," she said softly. "Chloe put it there. Her mom told her to." Laura inhaled to interrupt, but Sophia raised a hand. "Let her speak." Emma's voice trembled. "They made me sleep in the laundry room. I couldn't eat with them. If I spilled anything, I skipped meals. I missed Mia's party because I wasn't clean enough." Sophia glanced at Hargrove, scribbling fiercely. "I slept on a mat by the freezer," Emma added. "Sometimes they forgot me." Noah handed Sophia a note from Edith Crane, a neighbor. It read, "I saw Emma outside in the snow, no coat, multiple times. Offered her hot chocolate, Laura told me to stay out of it. She was scared." Sophia folded the note. "Anything else, Mrs. Bennett?" Laura's voice cracked. "We did our best. She's not ours. We didn't sign up for this burden." Rex barked once, sharp, final. Emma flinched, then smiled, as if a line was drawn. Sophia closed her folder. "I'm filing for protective custody. Emma stays with Mr. Caldwell pending investigation." Laura's mouth opened, then shut. James stared at the floor. As they left, Sophia knelt by Emma. "Are you okay staying here?" Emma nodded. "Rex is here." Sophia smiled. "That's a good reason." Snow clung to the courthouse steps like old bones. The sky over Clearwater was a stubborn gray. Inside the municipal building, a radiator hissed against the draft. The courtroom was simple, worn oak benches, a crooked judge's desk, humming fluorescent lights. Noah sat in a navy blazer, clean-shaven, eyes tired. Rex lay beside him, brushed and alert. Emma, in a navy coat and mended corduroy, clutched her notebook, her braid neat. "He's better than a lawyer," she whispered as Rex followed her in. Judge Judith Klein, early 50s, presided with calm authority. Her auburn hair was practical, her burgundy robe a quiet defiance. "Court is in session for Emma Larson's temporary custody," she announced. The hearing moved swiftly, statements, formalities. Noah submitted a DNA test confirming he was Emma's uncle, Hannah's letter, photos, and Edith's affidavit. Klein reviewed them impassively, noting steadily. "Mrs. Bennett," Klein said, "you claim Emma stole and misbehaved. Do you stand by this?" Laura, in a navy coat and tight scarf, leaned forward. "Yes, Your Honor. The game was in her belongings. She was disrespectful, sneaky." Klein nodded. "Is Chloe here?" A bailiff brought in Chloe, 7, in a velvet dress, nervous. "Chloe, tell me about the toy," Klein said gently. Chloe glanced at Laura's warning smile, then at Rex and Emma. "I lied," she whispered. "I put it in Emma's blanket. Mommy told me to." Said Emma took too much space. Laura gasped. James started to speak, but Klein silenced him. Chloe left quickly. Laura stood, voice shrill. "She's just a child, stressed." Rex rose, stepping between Emma and Laura, his gaze steady. Klein raised a brow. "Not everyone finds her threatening." The courtroom exhaled. Emma spoke clearly. "I don't want toys or clothes. I want to live with Rex. He doesn't yell or lie. He stays." Noah closed his eyes briefly. Klein exhaled, addressing the room. "Given the evidence of neglect, abuse, and Mr. Caldwell's familial tie, plus Chloe's testimony, I grant provisional custody to Noah Caldwell pending further review." Laura froze. James didn't move. Klein closed the file. Sometimes, the truest witness doesn't speak. Days after, the cabin thawed, slowly, transformingly. Winter lingered, but warmth grew beyond the fire. Footsteps, laughter, Rex's panting filled the home. Emma stopped flinching at sudden sounds, her eyes lingering on books and frosted windows, always on Rex. He trailed her everywhere. In the backyard, in boots and a knitted hat, Emma trudged through snow, Rex limping behind, his arthritis slowing him. She paused by a pine, stroking his ears. "You always come," she whispered. His tail thumped. Noah watched from the kitchen, coffee in hand, rubbing his scar. He noticed Rex's stiffness, his hesitation on stairs. He hadn't told Emma, she was just smiling again. In the storage room, he gathered wood and built a ramp from the porch to the yard, sturdy with traction strips. "For Rex," Noah said as Emma and Rex returned, soaked and red-cheeked. She hugged Rex tightly. "Still my best boy." That evening, over grilled cheese and soup, Emma's fanciest meal, they sat by the fire. Rex rested at Emma's feet, Noah in his armchair, Emma reading poetry, tracing lines. "What did Hannah read?" she asked. "Ghost stories," Noah said, smiling. Creaky stairs, wind through shut windows. She loved the thrill. Emma giggled. Noah handed her a worn book, and she read, lips moving silently, peace settling in her. That night, Noah peeked into her room. Emma slept, arm over Rex, her notebook nearby. Rex blinked at Noah, then rested. "You did good, old man," Noah whispered. The next morning, Emma drew Rex with A Girl and Mountains, titled My First Friend. Noah poured her juice, sitting silently. Maggie visited with blueberry muffins, her gray eyes kind. Emma around? She asked. In the yard with Rex, Noah said. He's slowing down. I know, Maggie said. Be gentle when you tell her. She kissed Emma's forehead, rubbed Rex's ears, and left. The snow softened, drifting gently. The cabin hummed with life, Emma's songs, Rex's steps, the scent of tea. Noah found a voice recorder in Hannah's old drawer, clicked play, and heard her tired voice. Static crackled, then Hannah spoke, soft and worn. I don't know who'll hear this. Maybe no one. Just need to talk to Emma. My Emma. Noah froze. Her voice was a mother's, frayed with guilt. You're sleeping beside me. No heat. You kick off your blanket, I pull it back. You smile in your sleep. I think you'll be okay. Someone will see you, not a burden, just a girl who hums and feeds birds. I wish I'd brought you to Montana, but they didn't want you. Maybe I was a coward. Noah, if this reaches you, I'm sorry. Don't make her apologize for existing. Let her be. The recorder stopped. Noah sat, the ache in his chest breaking free. He took it to Emma, curled with Rex by the fire, reading aloud. I found something of your mom's, he said, kneeling. Emma played it, barely breathing. When it ended, she whispered, she thought I smiled in my sleep. She was right, Noah said. That night, as snow fell softly, Noah drafted a full custody petition. Hannah wanted safety for Emma, he'd ensure it, a promise, not a duty. At dawn, a thump woke him. Emma knelt by Rex in the hall, the dog on his side, barely moving. He won't wake up, she whispered, panicked. Noah checked Rex's shallow breath, cold body. Get blankets, he said. They wrapped him, Emma murmuring, don't go, Rex. Noah turned up the heat, brought a heater. Time blurred. Emma held Rex, anchoring him. Dawn broke in pinks and grays. Rex stirred, a paw twitch, a sigh, a tail thump. He's okay, Emma gasped. He's still here. She looked at him. You're not allowed to leave. Rex blinked, a bond beyond words passing between them. The vet later confirmed cold stress and arthritis caused Rex's collapse. Emma curled beside him, whispering, you saved me. I'll save you. Noah called Sophia. It's time. I want it permanent. She's home. The courtroom smelled of pine cleaner and wet coats. Emma sat beside Noah, boots dangling, in a blue sweater, clutching a worn stuffed bear. Rex lay at her feet, proud despite his slower steps. Judge Ruth Whitaker, late 60s, with a gray bun and piercing eyes, spoke softly. Let's begin. Noah, in a navy shirt, submitted custody papers, Hannah's recording, and Emma's new birth certificate, Emma Hannah Caldwell. Miss Emma, the judge said warmly, do you understand today? Emma nodded. I think so. Anything to say? She looked at Noah, then Rex. I don't want to move again. I'm not trouble. Rex found me, then Noah. I'm not scared anymore. The judge smiled. The gavel fell. Custody to Noah Caldwell. Emma Hannah Caldwell is recognized by Montana. Outside, snow fell, not heavy, but celebratory. The cabin's soul shifted, Emma's drawings on the fridge, Rex's padded bed by the fire, Maggie's frequent visits with casseroles and books. Noah laughed more, quietly, genuinely. Then Emma asked, what if we made a place for kids like me, when no one hears them? Noah blinked. Like a home? Where Rex would go if he were human. The idea grew softly, like frost on glass. With Maggie and volunteers, they transformed an old ranger outpost into Rex's haven, painted yellow, with repaired roofs, bunk beds, and books. Emma painted above the door, "Here, every child is found before it's too late." Locals donated clothes, a teacher tutored, the mayor brought blankets. The cabin remained home, but the haven became purpose. Rex, honorary guardian, greeted each child like a friend, nudging their knees, resting in their laps, saying, "You're seen." On a late spring evening, as snow melted into mud and mountains greened, Emma sat with Rex on the porch. Her yellow sundress over jeans, feet bare, she was growing fast. Rex, fur thinning, breaths heavy, lay beside her. "You found me first," she said softly. His tail thumped once, enough. Some beginnings need no fireworks, just a whisper in the snow and someone who listens. Sometimes, God sends not winged angels, but an old dog with weary paws, a soldier with a scarred heart, and a whisper in the storm. From that, something sacred grows, not in thunder, but in quiet warmth, second chances, and fearless sleep. Maybe miracles aren't loud. Maybe they come through fur, frost, and love that stays. If this touched you, share it with someone who believes in quiet miracles. Comment with a dog, person, or moment that changed your life. Subscribe for the next story of love rising from brokenness. May God bless and protect you, reminding you that even in the coldest winter, help comes on 4 paws.